It took just 1 minute for the first emergency responders to arrive following the Manchester attack. But while they rushed in, firefighters based just half a mile away and medically trained did not enter the arena. Confusion as to whether an active shooter was on the loose meant they were told to stay 500 metres away, as per pre-arranged policy. It was 2 hours and 6 minutes before they went in to help. The report cannot say if the delay might have cost lives, but Martin Hibbert, paralysed after being closest to the bomber, is in little doubt.
I know what those first aiders had to do. They had to play Roman Emperor. They had to say who lived and who died. And that's not been said. But I'm not holding it in anymore. The scene that day was like what you'd see in Iraq and Afghanistan on a battlefield. You know, we're not talking about, little grazes and cuts. I mean, I know the injuries that I had on my body, and what they had in that first aid kit wasn't enough. I pretty much bled to death on the floor.
The Kerslake report describes how a common perspective was that there were too few paramedics in the foyer assisting the injured. Some felt there was a delay in treatment and transfer to hospital. The panel's opinion is that had Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service assets been deployed directly, then firefighters would have been much better placed to support and potentially to accelerate the evacuation of casualties from the foyer.
Deep down, what do I think? I think this was an issue of operational culture and not a full appreciation of how multi-agency working should happen.
A stark conclusion that was followed by a full apology from the Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service.
And it is clear that our response fell far short of what the people of Greater Manchester have a right to expect. I apologise unreservedly for that. There were clearly failures in leadership and poor decisions made.
Alison Howe was one of those killed that night. Her husband prevented from going to help.
It stopped us actually going in, and in hindsight now I wish we'd have just pushed past and gone in to help, really, to be honest. But we've now got another 244-page report. There's no answers in whatsoever.
Amid the criticism, there is also huge praise for the hundreds and thousands of acts of individual bravery on the night, which the city also acknowledged in the days following. The report concludes there was no single reason or any individual to blame, but the families of the 22 victims may be wondering this lunchtime if any of their loved ones could possibly have been saved. Richard Pallo, ITV News.